Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Maker Mornings with Meg. I'm Meg from LovenStamps Studio, and we are going to make a Christmas card this morning, which is why I have my Christmas festive gear on. It's lots of bright colors. It's lots of fun. It is all something that you're going to enjoy, and it is a trick that will it kind of blew my mind when I first figured it out. There's a hint to it in the book here. There's a hint to it in this book, but I'm going to just show you the whole detail of it, and you are going to be wowed, I'm pretty sure. So wait for that. Now, one of the things that I love to do when I am stuck for inspiration is to take a look at the cards that are available. So sometimes I look online, mostly I look in the Stampin Up book, sometimes I look back at the LovenStamps blog for different ideas. But this card is inspired by one in the catalog, and so I'm going to show it to you today. It's very simple, and even though it uses Merry and Bright, which is very heavily focused, this is a notebook we did, a Christmas planner, on those fabulous light bulbs, we're not using the light bulbs today. So kind of fun to do something a little different. Hey Cindy, good morning. Happy end of fall break for those who are headed back to school and work and so forth today. So anyway, I am going to flip our camera over and we're going to get started with our Christmas card. So hooray for Merry and Bright. Something about these fun, bright colors is just super appealing to me. So this is one of the cards that's included as a card kit for the LovenStamps October cards. So you'll get all the pieces for this one in the mail if your order is $50 or more. You're going to start with a piece of basic white thick cardstock. When I use white as a card base, I always like to use the thick over the regular just to give it that extra little bit of bulk that makes it just feel a little bit sturdier and a little bit nicer. And then this is a really great card for cutting your designer series paper efficiently, because this is a 4x4 inch square, and then this is 1.5 inches to go underneath it. And these two are going to layer here to give our sort of Christmas tree here a base. So I feel like you guys are really far away. Let us get a little closer here. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip these over and pop some adhesive on the back. And yes, I'm covering up my favorite little like light bulb paper, but it'll be okay because the front of this card is just really fun. And this paper is from the Merry, Bold, and Bright Sweet Collection. And it is exactly that, Merry, Bold, and Bright. It's been super popular. And it's available in the online shop. There's a link in the comments if you're watching on Facebook Live, or in the video description if you're watching later on YouTube, for all the supplies on this project. All right, so there is our card base. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a Christmas tree to go over it. So we have these strips of white cardstock, which don't immediately jump out as a Christmas tree, but when we have the stamp set with all of these words on it, that gives us a beautiful chance to add to the colors there. So I'm going to pull the colors for this card from the designer series paper. That's a lot of times where I get my inspiration. So I have the blue from the paper is going to be Blueberry Bushel, and then Parakeet Party, or you could use Grand Apple Green, Crushed Curry, and Poppy Parade. And so those are going to be our color inspiration for these. And I'm going to start by stamping these colors with our greeting. So we're going to do the whole greeting, and then we're going to trim. So I'm going to start off with A here for A. And then I have Merry, which I am going to do in Poppy Parade, because I want the bright words. Think about which words you're doing in which bright and bold colors, because that's going to give them a little bit of extra weight. And then I'm going to go with the Crushed Curry for Bright. Get it? It's kind of like a light bright color. Anyway, you probably have a ton of these strips hanging around. So I got that one kind of inked unevenly. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it again, which one of the beauties of having sort of this paper in your scraps is that there's no waste really. It would have been maybe scrap anyway. So when I cut the insides of cards, I always save those scraps There's always great tricks people have for saving their scraps. I like to store mine in, and I'm gonna bring Parakeet Party back for the last to finish off the bottom of our tree. I like to store mine in plastic page protectors. So I have like an open package of cardstock that I'm working in, and then I have my page protector that I keep all my scraps in. So I usually go to the page protector first when I want to I'm going to add one star. When I want to be efficient with my paper usage, I'll go to the page protector first, and then I'll go back and, open my package if I need to. So, all right. And now we are going to go ahead and start stamping. Start cutting. So I'm going to take my snips, and one of the beauties of these blocks, you might notice that they're really not super sharp in their stampiness. So there's just a little bit of a wave to it, which means that little bit of a wave to your cutting is no problem at all. So don't freak out about that. Mostly what I try to do is keep my margin about the same. And you'll notice that I always keep the scissors to the right of what I'm cutting as a right-handed person here. So it's really tempting to kind of want to put your scissors to the left, but I find that it's so much easier to always keep my scissors on the side. And I realize in all of the time that I've given you fussy cutting directions, I probably have not mentioned that before. You might have noticed it just from watching, but if you keep your scissors on the same side, it's so much easier. You can cut on both sides, but you're kind of training your brain twice then, because you're training it to keep that margin equal on both sides of the blade. So if you can try just putting your scissors to the right of what you're cutting, so you're basically cutting around the edge in a, counterclockwise way, then that might make your fussy cutting come a little bit easier. So, all right, so let's get these pieces here. And then, I needed that star. The star is handily available as one of the dies in this very, very robust die set. So we're gonna take that one and pop this out here. Where did it go? It was on one of these scraps, and now I've lost it. Okay, well, shockingly, no surprise, I have one that I've cut out already through the magic of television. There you go. So that is cut with the die there, and I have washi tape on it because that makes it easier to hold. And then we're going to come back. We're going to need this die, which is the light bulb base. So you can see it on fabulous projects such as this right here to cut that light bulb base out, but we're not going to use it for a light bulb base. And that is the super duper trick that is just sort of going to blow your mind. Now, on the back of each of these, I am going to put a dimensional. You can use the regular dimensionals and use the strips if you want. You could use these mini dimensionals and just make it easy, or you could use the regular dimensionals and you could cut them in half too. And then we're going to arrange our tree here on our paper. So, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Merry and bright Christmas to you and yours with our star. Ooh, it needs a dimensional also. Let's see, there we go. At the top. Now you might have noticed that I didn't actually stick this down, and that is because I really want this to be a little bit more separated from the background. I want it to have a little bit more presence. Oh, thanks, Corinne. We are going to do that by adding a layer, but I don't want to cover up all of our pretty designer series paper. So instead, I'm going to take a piece of vellum cardstock, and my vellum has been handy at my fingertips. I've been using it a lot lately. And then we are going to pop our pieces on here, and you can see how much more visible our tree is and how it just stands out just a little bit from the background. It doesn't cover up our pretty designer series paper, those bold and bright designs, but it does give it a little extra weight. It gives the centerpiece a little more oomph. So let's look at our bulb base die now. Some washi tape there that needs to be cleaned off. So we're going to use this now because we need a trunk for our Christmas tree. And you're like, what? That's not a Christmas tree trunk. But look at it again. We're going to take this and we're going to cut off that little edge area there. And we are going to turn this into a bulb base. All right, so I've got a piece of shaded spruce cardstock. And we're going to go ahead and pop this on. Now remember, when you're using your mini, I always like to start the top plate first Okay, can you see what I mean there? The top plate, this one, sorry. I guess I should turn it this way so it actually looks like the top for you. That top plate is gonna go in first, and then the rest is gonna follow, and that is gonna make it really easy to just start my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. So, all right, we're gonna take this. So here is our piece, and let's make sure this die finds its way back to its home. And then we're gonna take our paper snips, and hello camera, we are going to trim off those two little side pieces there. There we go. So now we have a super fabulous tree trunk, right? I know, I love it. Okay, so we still have another trick coming, because one of the things with working with vellum is that it is not forgiving with your adhesive. So let's go ahead and put the star on top of our tree. And then you guys know me, I like to space everything out and then go ahead and attach things so that we're not surprised that we've like run out of room or anything like that. So let's see, I think we're gonna have to get these just a little closer. There we go. All right, so I might as well, okay, I'm gonna move this off the top of my card because, there we go. The front of my card kept moving, makes it an extra challenge. So if you like extra challenge in your stamping, feel free to add that little bonus there, work on a moving surface. It's like stamping in a car or things like that. How many of you guys take projects with you when you go on long road trips? I find that fussy cutting in the car is actually one of my favorite car trip tasks. It just feels like, you know, it's easy to do in the car, or like peeling and sticking layers. I can do that in the car sometimes. Okay. All right, so there is our Merry and Bright Christmas tree with all of its jaunty angles. And when we attach this to our card here, very important, we are going to use our adhesive, but only in the places where it is hidden by our layers, okay? So I've got my glue on there, but only where that paper is on the back. So this is why you're gonna wait till the very end to glue down your tree. All right, so we have our card, a Merry Bright Christmas to you and yours. Now, if you feel left out because you didn't use the light bulbs on your tree, hang in there. You can certainly use those light bulbs and just pop them onto your card envelope cover or something like that. Lots of different ways to use them. And then, of course, we need some embellishments on this. I'm going to use these iridescent dots. I think these are not available right now. So if you go to order the Sweet Collection for Merry and Bright, it'll show that it's currently unavailable. I think the only thing that's unavailable is these iridescent dots. So you can order everything else, the paper, the stamps, the dies, and so forth, just not the dots. So you could substitute for a different kind of dots or rhinestones or whatever you want. But if you happen to have these, I really like them for this card. They're just nice and flat, which is always a bonus for mailing things through the U.S. Postal Service, and kind of an envelope saver. And I'm just going to pop a couple of these sort of scattered in the background to just sort of reinforce our attention here on our front layer there. So I've got a couple of those, and these are sort of the pearly iridescent ones from this pack. This is only a half a pack. The pieces actually go all the way out to the side here. So, all right. So like I said, this is one of the LovenStamps tutorials for the month of October. And this is a set of projects that I will show you the video, so anybody is welcome to watch video and get the ideas and so forth for them. If you want the printed directions, they're available as a PDF, and that is a free gift that I send to everyone who orders from me, any size order during the month of October. And then if you order at least $50, you'll get card kits to make 2 projects, and it's actually going to be this one and one of these fun candy treats. You have to provide your own candy. It doesn't mail quite as well. But one of these fun candy treats, which I shared just the other day, they hold the little Hershey Nuggets, which for some reason I want to call Hershey's Treasures. Maybe that's a different candy. I don't know. Anyway, so you get supplies for these 2 projects with your LovenStamps card kits to go, and that's my thank you for your orders. The other projects that are included in this month's set of tutorials are the notebook that we did a little while ago, so you can look back on my LovenStamps video archive for this. The easiest place to look for old past videos is on YouTube. Just look for the LovenStamps channel. And be sure to subscribe, like, follow, all those things so that you'll get notified for new ones. And then the last project is one that I haven't shared with you yet, but here is a little sneak peek of it. Here, I'll just pop this in. Here we go. There's the sneak peek of it. There you go. All right, so the other one is coming soon to a video near you, which probably is Thursday because next week is Halloween and I want to show something fun on Halloween. So anyway, remember that you actually have access to these both if you're ordering from me during the month that I offer them. I post them after the month is over on my Etsy shop at LovenStamps Card Mart, so you can get them there. And I also have them available to my LovenStamps demonstrator team. And this is a really great time to sign up to be a demonstrator if you've ever thought about it, whether it's just for your own discount or whether you want to have friends stamp with you or earn money for something specific or earn a trip. Lots of different possibilities are open to you as a demonstrator. And this month, during October, you can take advantage of the 35 special, which is to celebrate 35 years of Stampin' Up, which is a lot. Yay! Congrats, Stampin' Up. So that is 35% off the cost of your starter kit, which means you get a really great deal on the things in your kit, or 35% extra with your starter kit, which is also a really great deal. So it really just depends on which one you want to take advantage of. But I highly recommend taking a look at that. If it's something you've considered, this is one of the best deals I've seen in a long time. So you can learn more about that on my website at LovenStamps.com and look for the Join My Team button at the top, or check the video description here on YouTube or the comments. I'll post a link on Facebook shortly. So everyone have a really terrific day. Hope your weekend was terrific. And I will see you again on Thursday for another Maker Mornings with Meg video. So happy stamping, everyone.